Good morning. Happy Monday to you, wherever you may be in the world. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. We are in the Boeing 747-8 Intercontinental. We are going from Miami to Mexico City. Hopefully this time we are going to actually land the plane. Not like last time we tried a flight to Mexico City. So let's get in here, get the plane started up, and get on our way. Let me grab my checklist for startup. I should kind of have it memorized by now, but it's always good to remember. How to do everything. I think we're going to leave the time as is, so we don't we'll call for pushback. Once we get the systems kind of started up, at least maybe 2 of the 4 engines. All right, so I gotta find standby power to battery. There's a flap to turn on the battery. Nope, that's not it. Where's my dome light? That doesn't really help because we don't have any power yet. There we go. There's the battery. Now we can see. External power is available. Right. So let's get at least our initial clearance while we're
Miami clearance delivery Clipper 9er 17 Heavy IFR to Mexico City ready to go 1,000 feet. Departure on 120.5 squawk 6162.
Clipper 9er 17 Heavy readback correct. Contact ground on 127.5. Good day.
Miami ground Clipper 9er 17 Heavy with Sierra ready to taxi IFR.
Clipper 9er 17 Heavy taxi to in hold short of runway 27 using taxiway Papa Quebec 8. Contact tower on 123.9er when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 27 using taxiway Papa Quebec 8 Clipper 9er 17 Heavy.
all right. There we are. There's that. And let's get some lights on here. So we can actually see, be seen. Alright, and then we gotta get over here, put in our flaps. Before we do that, let's go. Takeoff. 1, 0. There. Okay. Let's turn our flight director on. Go. Alright, let's get at least a couple of the engines started up. what was our? It's 205. Okay. All right, and let's go to legs here. Sir. Turn APU switch to start. Alright. Let's go ahead and get pushed back here first.
Miami ground, Clipper 917 Heavy requesting pushback.
Get at least some of it
Clipper
going.
917 Heavy pushback. Request accepted.
Miami ground, Clipper 917 Heavy requesting pushback to steer the aircraft to the left.
Clipper 917 Heavy, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Keep turning.
Miami
That
ground,
should be
Clipper
sufficient.
917 Heavy requesting the end of pushback.
Clipper 917 Heavy request to end pushback received.
Clearance. All right, let's get this going. And then fuel switches. 2. Fuel switches for engine pool. Start. Alright, looks like we got movement in engine 1. We'll just do all that. Go ahead and get all these fuel pumps on. At least get 2 ready. All right, there's 1. It's back in. 2. There's 2 is going. Get that set. I don't think I missed anything, did I? Nope. There's 3. movement 3 going. Get fuel on for 4. Somebody's watching, not saying anything. It's alright. And the last engine. There we go. There's the movement. Bingo. Alright. 4 will go. Minimize that. As soon as we get to our runway, which is just right there, we don't have to go very far. Alright, finally the last engine is started up. So as I mentioned yesterday, we are flying with the Pan Am call sign Clipper. Oh, I should double check. I think I have one more page to look at here. Oh, update the altimeter. Okay, alright. Yeah, we're using the Pan Am name, Pan Am call sign, well, the call sign, the tail code, which we'll zoom in on the plane once we get airborne, is from a 747. I think they only made it to the 200 series before Pan Am basically went bankrupt, and the flight number is a kind of I changed the numbers just a little bit, but as close to a real flight number as possible. Don't be shy, everybody. Come in and say hello. It's alright. I know it's Monday and everybody's scared of Mondays. I don't know why, but I'm not gonna...
Miami Tower Clipper 9er 17 Heavy ready for IFR departure runway 27.
Alright, let's get an
Clipper
altimeter
9er 17
going.
Heavy altimeter 30.1 flight wind 347 at 7. Cleared for takeoff runway 27.
Cleared for takeoff runway 27 Clipper 9er
Hello,
17 Heavy.
Kronos. What's the sour face for? There's no need for the sour face, or whatever that is. What's going on? line up and we'll get the sure we know where all of our buttons are, so once we get airborne we can engage the navigation systems correctly. Hello. No, I am not on VATSIM. Yeah, I realized 3 people are watching. Thank you for informing you what I already know. Thank you. I know the number changes. No, I do not use VATSIM. I'm on the Xbox, so I cannot use VATSIM. It's not something that has been brought to the console, and I don't expect that it ever will be. Alright, here we go. Alright, so autopilot right there. We want that one. LNAV and FLC mode. Okay. I'm just going to hit the toga button. Didn't it not go? Should just automatically go. Why is it not working? Oh, I know why. There we go. Let's try this again. There we go. Thank you. 1,000, that would be phenomenal, but you know, if it's meant to be, it will happen. But I don't want to put any kind of discussion about any kind of what do you call it? Subscription, you know, we're trying to reach a goal or whatever. No, we're just gonna let's go. All right. Ding.
Clipper 917 heavy contact Miami departure on 120.5. Good day.
120.5 Clipper 917 heavy. Miami departure Clipper 917 heavy is at 1,200 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
Clipper 917 heavy Miami departure altimeter 30.15. Continue to Crocs as planned.
Do I know Swiss 001? No, I'm not doing a face reveal. If you want to know what I kind of look like, there's a picture of me up for my channel. I'm not doing a live video stream or anything like that, no. Do I know what Swiss 001? I don't know off the top of my head. I'm sure it's some sort of a Swiss flight number, I'm guessing. So there we go. We are on our way to Mexico. No, I don't plan on doing anything like that. I know some people, you never know what they look like, and then they agree that if they reach a certain goal for let's leave a little bit of light on if we need it. We should be okay.
Clipper 917 heavy
contact Miami Center on 123.775. Good day. 123.775 for Clipper Niner 17 Heavy. Miami Center Clipper Niner 17 Heavy is at 8,000 feet climbing 10,000 feet. Clipper Niner 17 Heavy Miami Center altimeter 30.15 continue to Reno as planned.
We should level off here briefly.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy contact Miami departure on 120.5. Good day. 120.5 Clipper Niner 17 Heavy. Miami departure Clipper Niner 17 Heavy is at 9,400 feet climbing 10,000 feet. Clipper Niner 17 Heavy Miami departure altimeter 30.16 continue to Reno as planned. Clipper Niner 17 Heavy contact Miami Center on 123.775. Good day. Going to 123.775 Clipper Niner 17 Heavy. Miami Center Clipper Niner 17 Heavy is at 9,700 feet climbing 10,000 feet. Clipper Niner 17 Heavy Miami Center altimeter 30.16 continue to Reno as planned. Clipper Niner 17 Heavy climb and maintain flight level 200.
Alright.
Climb and maintain flight level 200 Clipper Niner 17 Heavy.
Alright, I think what I gotta do now, let's do this. There we go. Get our speed up here.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy contact Miami Center on 132.4. Good day. 132.4 Clipper Niner 17 Heavy. Miami Center Clipper Niner 17 Heavy is passing 10,900 feet climbing flight level 200.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy Miami Center altimeter 30.16 continue to Reno as planned.
Alright, so while we're climbing, I'll show you the tail code, since things are kind of stable right now. Registration number, I should say, not the tail code, but there it is. November 748 Papa Alpha. That is a Pan Am registration. Aircraft registration, so that is, I don't think I changed anything on that one. That is the actual registration for one of their 747s. So there we go. Just have a quick look around here. So a couple updates coming soon. I don't know if it's going to be this coming Thursday or when, but the F-15 will get some updates to it, and then sometime in the next couple months we will get some more liveries for the F-14. The A and B models will get some fresh paint. So looking forward to that. I think those will be just, they won't be like a pack for sale or anything like that. It'll just be included. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Come on. Alright, let's get back in the... Here on the flight deck. Alright, we are on our way to Mexico. We won't turn yet. I think we have that Moreno, and then I think we got to go a little bit more, and then we'll turn and start heading across down over to Mexico City. So yeah, we got that coming up. So I don't know if I think the update for the F-15 will be this Thursday, because that's the day that we get. All right, we got to switch this to standard. So we're above 18,000 feet. So we should be all set there. We should get a call to increase our altitude here in a moment.
Clipper 917 Heavy, climb and maintain
flight
level 260.
Climb and maintain flight level 260, Clipper 917 Heavy.
Clipper 917 Heavy, contact Miami Center on 134.75. Good day.
134.75 Clipper 917 Heavy. Miami Center Clipper 917 Heavy is passing flight level 200, climbing flight level 260.
Clipper 917 Heavy, Miami Center, continue to Reno as planned.
So we've still got a little bit of distance to go before, once we reach Doli. Yep. Then we'll turn towards Mexico City. So we're still like in our departure phase of the flight. Can get this set up for landing. I think we'll go with 3, because I think we'll be able to slow down enough once we touch down. Of course, this isn't usable. The Xbox version. I tried the 787 last night. It still got its issues. A lot of people reporting bugs with it, that you take off and it just goes around in a circle at some point during the flight. So I got 3 viewers. Can at least 2 of you guys or folks give me a thumbs up at least? I mean, greatly appreciate it. Guess not. Okay. Well, thanks for coming by and watching, I guess. Either way. Alright, let's get that on. I will leave it at 2 nautical miles. Guess I'm not worthy of a couple of thumbs up. That's cool. That's all good. think that's what they use for the nose steering, is this handle here, I think. Could be wrong.
Climb and maintain flight level tree 60 Clipper Niner 17 Heavy.
Alright, there we go. And then we'll go to 420 probably on the next one. Yeah, look at that sunrise. Hello, Abbas. Oh, somebody, a couple people, thank you. On the side to throw a few thumbs up, appreciate that. Alright, so tomorrow's flight will be, let's have a look here. Now that we're all set for our remainder of our flight here. Tomorrow we will be in the A320 Denpasar to Kuala Lumpur. Should be, I think, a fairly quick flight. Morning, Amela. How are you? Nice to see you here. We got a minor dusting here last night. Just a little inconvenience, but maybe on its way to you. Just thought I'd let you know. We've already switched over to the Mach numbers. I'm doing okay. I had to go to the bank last night. Wasn't quite like dark yet, but when I left, it took me a while to get there because the sidewalks. There was just enough standing water on the sidewalks yesterday evening that once the sun went down, even a little bit, it was just very icy. Yeah, very, very strange. So I had to be very careful. I walked in the street most of the way, I think, because it was the only area that there was no ice. But yeah, people I think had gone out and cleared the sidewalks, but then it was just a very unsafe on the sidewalks. Like I if you looked at the correct, yeah, so we would be getting a few as well. Oh, yeah, like it started yesterday. It was kind of, the sun was out, but it was still too cold. It didn't really melt too much. But the sidewalks, people had gone out and cleared it as best as they could. But, any standing water just iced over. And if you looked at it just at a certain angle, you could see just a little sheen of ice on the sidewalk. And so it was, if you stepped incorrectly or whatever, you could easily slip and bust yourself wide open. So I just walked as close to the edge of the street as possible, right near the sidewalk. But even that was a little bit iced over, but it wasn't as bad as as it was on the sidewalks.
Miami Center, Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, flight level 360.
First coward of the day. Awesome. Well, I got 11 viewers. Can we get a few more thumbs up, please? Thank you. I don't think I should have to ask.
Climb and maintain flight level 420, Clipper Niner 17 Heavy.
Doesn't cost anything. Alright, we are headed towards our cruise altitude of 420. Yeah, so it was, it just took me a while to get to the bank, to get to the ATM. So yeah, it was very dangerous. But you can tell some people went out yesterday and tried to clear up. Some people, it was just like they barely did much. So, yeah. Like the parking lot here in the apartment complex is got that little bit of snow over it, but it was very icy. Like one guy, I think, he had slipped and fell, but luckily he didn't like fall too hard, but he certainly fell and landed on his back. So if they don't come out here and try to do something with this parking lot, they're gonna find themselves in a having issues with possible lawsuits if they don't take care of it here pretty soon. So we're gonna have to get out here and take care of the sidewalk, the parking lots, all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, somebody falls and hurts themselves, they're gonna be liable for that injury. So we're a little bit off track here. We're gonna swing back around and catch back up. But we are now on our way to Mexico City. I guess every time I ask for some thumbs up, it scares people off. I don't quite understand it.
Going to 134.75 Clipper Niner 17
I wonder
Heavy.
if that is
Miami
still
Center,
over
Clipper
Florida. I
Niner
wonder if that's
17 Heavy is at
Pensacola.
flight level 380, climbing flight level 420.
Kind of feel like we're
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, Miami Center, continue to gully as planned.
there's Mexico City way off in the distance there. Kind of feel like that's Pensacola right there below us. I don't know why. I always feel like that's what it is right there. Could be wrong. Yeah, it's very dangerous. I was hoping to get over there and get back because I was watching Pulse's stream last night, and it took me so long to get there. Like I had to walk very slowly, and my legs were not too happy with my muscles, and my legs were not too happy with my small stepping to get there. So yeah, it's very dangerous, unfortunately.
Miami Center, Clipper Niner 17 Heavy is at flight level 395, climbing flight level 420.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, Miami Center, continue to gully as planned.
Okay. So there is, I think that's Pensacola Naval Air Station. But without the marker, it's hard to tell. I know the markers are turned on, so I don't know why it's not showing. But I could be wrong. That could be a different airport. But I kind of feel like that's what that is right there. Another airport right there. You can see the lights there, just like here. Runway guiding lights. Alright. Well, at least we're on our way. Appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out. Had quite a epic stream yesterday. We had up to 20 likes yesterday, and garnered a few more. We got some, I think 7 subscribers out of that, so thank you to all the new subscribers. I'll kind of, now that we're en route to Mexico, I'll kind of go over how the channel works. Okay, we try to fly 7 days a week. If at all possible. That is subject to change at captain's discretion, I guess. But I do have appointments, things that I have to take care of that is more important than, you know, I like to do all these things, but my health care takes priority. So I hope you do understand that. But we try to fly. I try to do the flights in the morning, or within at least a reasonable amount of time. If I don't do it first thing, that as soon as I get back home from an appointment, for instance, I'll try to go and do the stream when I get home. If not, we will move that flight to in February. Okay, so that day will just essentially, there just won't be a stream, and that'll be that. So yeah, that's how we're going to do that. Fridays are going to be viewer requested flights. Please play Automation Empire. I don't have that. No, that's not what I do. Okay, I don't. No, that's I do 2 video games on my channel. Or 2 games. I do Microsoft Flight Simulator and Train Sim World 2. That's it. So I'm sorry, but no, I don't. I'm not taking game requests from viewers. Okay. The most I will. The only thing I will do is a viewer requested flight. We are booked all the way through January. When we do the long flight from JFK to Frankfurt on the 28th of this month, I will ask for a flight for the 4th of February. Whoever gives me, I need the 4-letter airport code, okay, from your departure. So if you want New York, it would be either JFK or LaGuardia, you know, something like that. But you need the 4-letter code. So like San Francisco is KSFO, Miami is KMIA. So I need that 4-letter code. That's okay. You don't have to apologize. I'm just letting you know that that's not how I operate my channel. Then I need the arrival code, the 4-letter code for the airport that you want me to go to. Okay. So all that stuff, you can find it if you Google the name of the airport that you want me to fly out of. It'll just say like San Francisco International Airport code. It'll give you that 4-letter code in the search. Okay. So I need those 2 things, and then while I'm on the long flight, I can look at you know, is it possible for me to do it? I need to know those things because I need to know what sort of aircraft I'm going to be flying in and on that flight. If I can do it, then whoever puts the first one in that I can say yes to, then you get that one for the 4th. And then if there's multiple people, then we'll do the one. They'll get the next one will be for the 11th, and then the 18th, and then that's it. There's only going to be 3 flights. The last flight of February, for instance, will be another long flight of my choosing. Okay, so that should get you guys to come back and watch to participate. Okay, now if you're not there for the live stream, I can't. That's not on me. Okay, that's up to you to be there. Okay, if I say I'm going to do it on that date, if you don't make it for the live stream, I'm not going to refly it. Okay. If I look at the flight and it's going to be too much for me to do, I will try to compromise. So if it's going to be like an 8-hour flight, I only do a long flight at the end of the month. So preferably something about no more than 3 hours or so. Okay. So think about it, but I know everybody wants to see their particular part of the world. And chances are I've already been to that particular part, or I will be going to that particular part of the world. So it may not be the exact airport, but it will be your country, your region, whatever. Okay. So, but if you're not there for the live stream, don't come into the next one and go like, I missed the flight. Well, I don't work around your schedule. We do this. Well, that's okay, Sudesh. You're more than welcome to be here. That's why I'm kind of going, because I see a lot of there's some new viewers, new faces in the chat. So I'm kind of explaining how this whole thing works. So Monday through Friday we do a point-to-point flight, like what we're doing right now. In the 747, we're going to Mexico City. Saturdays, I do a Spitfire flight, and then we also do a fun flight in a fighter jet. We just have some fun. Obviously, yesterday's additional fun in the F-15 in downtown Las Vegas upset a few people. It's just a game. It's not real life. Okay, if it bothers you that much, I'm sorry, but we're here to have fun. Okay, we're here to have a few laughs and everything. It's not harming anybody in real life or whatever. Just, you know, we're here to have a laugh and all that. Enjoy it. And if we make some mistakes, so be it. We'll try again the next day. Okay, so don't get wrapped around the axle about it. Okay, as we like to always say. So enjoy it. Take take a deep breath and just sit back and relax and enjoy the flight. That's what we're here to do. Where is this is the one part I always forget about. It's the wipers. Is it over here? Oh, there it is. I forgot the. Everybody's been riding with their seatbelts off this entire time. So that's how that's going to work. So we try to have a bit of a laugh. If that bothers you so much, then I don't know what to tell you. But you're going to be here to watch it, because even though it bothers you, so you kind of forfeit your right to complain, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so we try to just relax, enjoy it. There's enough stress in the world right now that we don't need to bring that into our streams and everything. We try to have a good time and all that. So that's how things work. I don't take requests for other games. On Sundays we do a scenic flight, but before we do the scenic flight, we do a trip on the in Train Sim World 2. We do a stream with that. I won't take requests because there's only so many routes not everything is around, you know, we don't have trains from all around the world. We're very limited in what we have there. And unfortunately, we're very limited in what works sometimes. Okay, so take that with a grain of salt. You know, we'll try to have some fun with that. We'll do a service there, and then we'll hop over into the Stearman 75 and do a nice flying tour. Yesterday we did about the Amazon rainforest area and part of the Amazon River, and then we landed nice and easy, and then we had some fun in the F-15, which, like I said, some people were not too pleased with, but hey, it is what it is. And then, but the rest of the week, I try to do jetliner trips, whether it's short distance, like a regional jet sort of thing, or maybe medium distance. We try to do that, and then we have our and then, but yeah. So tomorrow, Denpasar to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, in the A320. The 12th, we're doing another 747 flight from Mumbai to Dubai. That one is probably going to be later in the morning. I have a early morning appointment on Wednesday. Thursday's flight in the 747 going from Paris to Lisbon. That one should take off at the normal time, 6:30 East Coast time in the morning. Friday, we're doing the Embraer 110 Papa going from Kapoli to Hilo in Hawaii. And Saturday, we are in the Spitfire Marseille to Toulouse. And then we're going to try the F-15 around the Grand Canyon. We're going to take off from Nellis, go over Hoover Dam, and then on the way to, and then we'll hit the Grand Canyon and try to get people a little stomach-turning flight there. And then Sunday, we are in the Stearman 75 doing a flying tour of Hawaii. Good morning, Mick. Oh, no. Well, hopefully it's helping you, Mick, but I'm happy to see you here, my friend. We missed you in the stream last night. Oh, Chris and I were having a good go at Bex. We decided that you and Pulse would compare notes of how it is when you play with Bex. And I said, I think Mick wins automatically as with the experience when Bex disconnected your oxygen on Astroneer. But yeah, so yeah, I was just kind of going over the how the channel works and everything, so I think I got it pretty much covered. I hope. Think. So that's how it works. There, if any games are added, it's I will make that determination. But right now, I think we're pretty set with the two that we have. I'm not one of those people that's going to be seeking free codes from a developer or whatever. No, I'm not. That's not how I work. So, anyways, there we go. And we only have had one knucklehead in the chat so far, Mick, that I took care of. You were en route home from your appointment. But yeah, they did It was a pretty interesting game that they played. I'm guessing that's the one that you guys were all thinking about. I think Chris is getting it as well. He's picking up that game. What else? Well, Bex has already got it. I guess Chris is going to be able to share it with Amy or something. I don't know. There was just a lot of confusion as to who was doing what with the game, so. But it looked good. Well, you know, Pulse kept pointing out that at the end of every stage that they were on, Bex's kill numbers were like, she only had maybe 5 or something like that, right? Pulse was doing all the work. And he was like, what are you doing? What have you killed? So, yeah. It was funny. It's an interesting game, you know, for a survival horror sort of stuff, but yeah. His chat was kind of taken over by this one person who was, you know, giving him pointers, and and then there was, oh, well, I'm sure you've watched it already. Yeah. It's, what's it called? Out for Blood, I think? Something like that. It's like a survival horror. Well, speak of the devil, there's Chris. Yeah. Hello, Chris. How are you? We were just talking about last night's mayhem. and poor Pulse having to do all the work. What was I going to say? I mean, it's an interesting game, I guess. You know, if you're into those sort of survival horror sort of genre games, but yeah, it was quite entertaining. Although I wish I'd made it back in time for the finale before they called it a night. Yeah, it was funny. Oh, get that armed while I think of it. I think I checked. So we should be able to slow down nice and... Alright, you know what we should do? Let's have a look, okay. Let's go to our next page. So, Inaga, this marker here, that is our arrival marker. So let's see what happens after that. Now I looked. I think we're going to be okay this flight. Yep. Alright, doesn't look like we have any broken sort of markers to contend with this time, so I should have named the big angry dude Amilla, so it's okay. But Pulse is always good at shooter games. Yeah, he was all over the place. He was doing a lot. Bex was having a tough time keeping up. But it was fun. It was nice to see Bex back in the stream. You know, after you guys completed Astroneer. So yeah, it was good. Nice to have her back in the stream team. Not so much the dream team, but the stream team. I think she said she was trying to convince Amy to join her in the game, but Amy wouldn't do it for some reason. So yeah, it was pretty funny. And then they got so angry at one point that they just kind of got quiet, and it was like they were hardly saying anything. It was I was like, uh-oh. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign that when they started getting quiet, it was like, oh boy, is this going to get ugly, or what's going to happen here? So we can turn off the dome light all the way now, and then these lights will eventually click off. You'll hear the click of the switch that'll turn these this backlighting on the panels off completely. So yeah, that was pretty fun. So for those of you who are joining just now, which is fine. Yeah, Amy getting the game. Misspelled morning. So we are using the call sign for Pan Am, which is Clipper. Our registration, which you can not really make out there. It is like right here. It's an actual registration code for a Pan Am 747. And our flight number is a tweak of an actual Pan Am flight number. So now everybody's caught up on what's happened. So we are just cruising along. We've got 880 nautical miles to go till we get to Mexico City. So we're basically in our cruise phase. I think we are over the Gulf of Mexico now. Florida is way behind us. I think that's the marker. Maybe not. Nope, that might be a landmass back there somewhere. Yeah, we are on our way to Mexico City. We will fly over Mexico City as a flying tour one of these days. I don't think we're doing it this month, but we will be, I think, next month. Let's have a look. Maybe I could be wrong. Phoenix. Oh, kind of talking about. Oh, yes, on the 23rd we are doing a scenic flight of Mexico City. On the 22nd, Mick, you may want to make note of this. On the 22nd, we will be flying in the Spitfire. We're going to do a tour of what is known as the Fulda Gap. So I highly recommend, if you don't know anybody, one of a king by using your own greeting. One of a king. Oh, Bella, you know what just happened is you king now instead of kind. And Bella, okay, I'll do that instead. Yeah, oh, Bella, you just messed up. Oh, Bella. What do you like? Oh, well, that's good. Get a little father-daughter time. Nothing wrong with that, Mick. You deserve to have a bit of a break and have some family time, I think. So, despite the fact that they always wait for the most inopportune time for you to to want the dad time, but that's good. At least you guys got that time together. One of a king now. Yep, Amela. I don't know. Amela, have you not had your pre-breakfast breakfast yet? Is that what happened? So folks, in case you do not know by now, those of us who are kind of having a chat in the chat and we're having a laugh, we have known each other for quite some time. So do not think that we do not care about new viewers. We just have we've known each other from other streams for a few years now, so do not let that do not leave the chat or leave the stream because you don't feel included. So anyway, we're all fairly decent people, just come in and say hello, sit back, relax. We like to have a good laugh, so yeah. you messed up on that one, Amela. You have to admit you should have double checked your typing before you hit send. You kind of goofed up there. You can't blame Amela, or you can't blame Chris for that one. So you opened the door as soon as you put that. So totally. She had a great day, but now she's got a mobile. Oh yeah, yeah. And then you're gonna have to put down the rules about the mobile at the dinner table and all those things, because their face is always gonna be on that phone. Ugh. What? Oh. Okay, so it did turn off. We might have been outside then playing when yeah, I'm glad she had a good birthday. That's awesome. That you made it as good as you can given the pandemic. That's good. So now you see all that backlighting on the panels is now off. Once there's enough light, natural light, I think, in the flight deck, it'll shut the that backlighting off. Now I think we can. Yeah, so we can turn some of it back on. So like there, that's on. That's just part of it there, and then I think. Might be overhead. Oh well, we don't really need them. We're fine. We can always turn on the dome light if we need. Oops. I don't know if this turned down. Oh, and heat brakes. All right. Yeah, that's awesome that she had a good birthday. Yeah, I couldn't imagine being a kid and getting a Houston reaching all the way out here.
127.65 Clipper Niner 17 Heavy. Houston Center, Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, flight level 420.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, Houston Center, continue as planned.
Yeah, that's. I can imagine. I do miss the times though when we didn't have those things. I mean, they're convenient, but they're also they're distracting in not a good way. But yeah. Like kids especially have a hard time putting the phone down, putting it away for even a short while. Oh, thank you, Mick. Yeah. Well, the 787 is pretty much broken right now. There's been multiple reports in the forums about it. I filed one about the altimeter knob not working. I don't know. They've not said when there will be a patch for it to get things working again. But it's pretty much useless. The 777s, I've taken them out of the repertoire for the time being, in hopes that we'll be able to fly them once maybe if there's an update of some kind for them. But right now, those are persona non grata for the time being. The T-45C has its own issues with the crashing. I don't think that's something that the developers themselves caused. It's a issue with the update that is causing their plane now to be unusable, kind of like what happened, I think, with the Eurofighter. So we're just going to go with what we know works, and hope for the best, but expect the worst. I will try to test things to make sure that everything works as intended, so that we don't have any surprises or anything like that. So but for right now, I think we have some stuff that we know works, and we're going to keep going with that. So there we are. So I just picked this livery because well, I know it's kind of plain. It's their production line, sort of, like the prototype, I guess, look kind of like this. But I figured if the letters for the registration code were a bit bigger, you would actually be able to see it. But it's kind of like with the light, it's kind of hard to see it. It's not very clear. We have to kind of zoom in. Those letters are a bit small for the registration code for the aircraft, but it looks like, I'll zoom in again so everybody can see what I'm talking about.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, contact Houston Center on 134.9. Good day.
134.9 for Clipper Niner 17 Heavy. Houston Center, Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, flight level 420.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, Houston Center, continue as planned.
So this November 748 Papa Alpha is an actual aircraft registration for Pan Am, one of their 747s, that when they were still flying, when the airline was still in operation. So it's a little easier to see against this background up close. It's not quite lost in some of the darker schemes that we have, although I'm hoping eventually we get some more liveries for the 747. We'll see what Asobo might have planned for such a thing, if anything. So So all the 777 stuff will fly the 747 in lieu of that. So we're so yeah, we'll do that instead. It might be a bit too much plane, but I don't think it is. But yeah. The sun is up. It's Monday morning. It is currently 6:45 in the morning in Mexico City. You're an hour behind me in time. I have a very important reason why to know what time it is, because I have a very important person from that part of the world life. Maybe she'll make an appearance in the chat, hopefully. She knows I'm flying to Mexico City this morning, so she may make a guest appearance in the chat, hopefully. We've still got quite a bit to go. So I was looking at the big airport there in Hawaii, their international airport. They do not have, as far as I know, I do not think that they have the capabilities of hosting a 747. Because I was thinking, man, it would be great if we could do a flight from like Hawaii to Tokyo, for instance. No, it is. I don't think they're capable of handling that large aircraft. I could be wrong, but what I kind of was doing, and the runways don't seem like they could handle, unless we sat at the end of the runway and throttled up and then released the brakes. Then I think we might be able to do it, but that would be about the only way. But I don't think it's meant for a 747 to take off or land there. But I could be wrong. I might have to adjust my flying a bit, you know, like on the takeoff. We would just leave the parking brake on, hit the auto throttle, and then once the engine spun up, then we would let the brakes go, and then we'd get going, hopefully a little bit quicker. Kind of how they used to do it back. Oh, a little bit of light snow. That's frickin-tastic. I'm just looking outside the window right now, and I just see the little bit of a flurry, but it's not heavy. We fit in perfectly in there. And all right, take care, Mella. Nice to see you. Be safe there in the city. Catch you later. I think it was 3015 was our... I don't know. Guess I could look it up while we're flying, the transition altitude going into Mexico. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can find that out. Oh, one of the fun things we're going to do with the Spitfire is the transition altitude. Okay, so about 18, flight level 180. Okay, perfect. We're gonna take a trip. This will be the first Spitfire Saturday of February. We're going to do a flight from an airport in Panama City. We're going to follow the Panama Canal a little bit. Then we're going to hang a left, go over the lake that is between the locks for the Atlantic side and the Pacific side. There's a huge lake. So we're going to fly over that, hang a right, and then we're going to land on the Atlantic side. So we'll take off on the Pacific, land on the Atlantic side. So a flight from St. Petersburg Beach to Disney World, as I went there for my 10th birthday. Well, I am going to St. Petersburg Beach. That should be a fairly. Hold on a second. Let's have a look. Look at the code for that one. Florida, there you are. It's got to have like a regional airport there, I would think. St. Pete, Clearwater. To Orlando. That should be a quick flight, quite honestly. So I think it's KORD is Orlando. Hold on, let me look here real quick. I have it written down somewhere. Dun, dun, dun. It's Atlanta. I know I wrote it down somewhere. I'll look. Oh, KMC, okay. KPIE. Oops. The wrong one. KPIE. KMCO. KMCO. And let's do that in the 737 MAX. That is roughly not even an hour. Okay, that's not too bad. I think oh, you two. Get a room. Uh-oh. Dropped my controller. I thought we were going to have an issue there for a second. Alright, I'm going to do that. So, the 4th of February, even though it's still early in the month, and I said, so there's going to be 2 spots still open. So, for you, Mick, yes, I can do that. Let me pencil that into the 4th of February. K-Pi. 737 Max. I think they have a British. We'll even do that in British Airways livery. Why not? Just for you. To K, was it MCO? Yeah. So I will put together that flight. Alright, so the 4th of February is booked. Sorry, folks. I know I had some rules, but for my good friend Nick, I can do that for his birthday. All right. There we are.
Niner 17 heavy contact Houston Center on 132.65. Good day.
Down Main Street. Oh,
132.65
wow.
for Clipper Niner 17
That's
heavy.
pretty cool, Mick. I didn't know that they
Houston
did something
Center,
like
Clipper
that.
Niner 17
That's pretty
heavy,
awesome.
flight level 420.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy Houston Center.
Very
Continue to
cool.
turn off as planned.
Your Dove is the one right in front of us. So we've got still, let's see, we've got all those. Let's see, let's go to the next page and see how far along we are. We're not quite at our, it's 2 pages, 3rd page. 3rd page, we will see our, so we still got quite a bit to go until we get to Naga, which is our arrival waypoint. And we should start, we should start to see our descent phases as we get closer to Naga. So we still got quite a bit of distance to go. So if you haven't already, refresh your drink, refresh your snacks, make a run to the toilet if you have to. We've got quite a bit way to go. We will be at our halfway point soon. So we're gonna keep on keeping on. And looks like everything should go according to plan. We'll descend, and then we will follow our traditional uses of our. So of course we're going to have those dots across the bottom. Once that diamond is in the middle, we'll go hit the localizer mode, which is going to be right there, the lock mode, LOC. And then once the diamond is in the middle on this side, there'll be dots here. Once that's there, then we'll hit the approach mode. The tractor beam should engage from the Death Star, and we should go right on in safely into the airport. So there we go. That's the plan. So Mick, you, sir, have the 4th of February is your flight. So that should be about an hour. maybe about an hour 20 if we do the startup, pushback, taxi out, take off. We won't. I don't think it'll be a very high cruise altitude. Probably only go up to maybe 27,000 feet. I'm guessing. I could be wrong. But yeah, it should be a very quick flight. It should be easy to do. Or, you know what we could do, even for a little bit of fun, we could just do it in the, although we wouldn't do the startup and taxi out because it doesn't save in the system, but we could take one of the Cessna Learjets instead. That would, I got my tuna sandwich and 2 gingerbread now for the rest of the trip. Okay, nice. Very good. I was watching somebody the other day. Oh, I remember. Oh, yeah. So there's a guy who's I follow on YouTube. He's he likes talking about watches and stuff, and he lost 15 pounds. He said he didn't go on a diet. He was having ginger tea in the evening instead of a snack. So like he'd get hungry, and instead of eating, he would just make some ginger tea, and that was sufficient. And so he lost a lot of weight because of that. Well, not a lot, but 15 pounds, I guess for some people is a lot. But he said, no, I didn't go on any special diet. Yeah. When you said ginger bread, I thought of ginger tea for some reason. My name is Mathis Nabo. My dad is Patrice Nabo. I am fine, thank you. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Do hope you enjoy. We are almost halfway to Mexico City. There in the distance. We still got quite a bit of flying to do. We're just cruising along here at flight level 420 in the lovely Boeing 747-8 Intercontinental. We are using the call sign information from the former Pan Am Airlines, very famous airlines here in the United States. It is no longer flying. They went bankrupt in 1991. There's quite a lot of, there's books, actually, I didn't know this, but if you watch the movie The Aviator with, what's his name, Leonardo DiCaprio, they talk a little bit about the business fight between Pan Am and what was essentially to be Trans World Airlines, and how Pan Am had gotten a lot of, I didn't know this until, you know, much later after Pan Am was gone, but they got a lot of special considerations from the U.S. government. You know, this is before the FAA was, I think, even created. Oh, landing 2020. Well, hopefully that's the plan. That's the idea. We'll utilize all the systems that we have in the aircraft. Our localizer mode and our approach mode should line us up correctly for our landing. So we still got quite a ways to go, though. So I think we're close. We're pretty close to the halfway point of the flight. So we're just covering the distance as quickly as possible, of course, within reason. So, oh, that's what the thing I didn't look at. Let's go back here. Approach. So 160. We'll go with that. No, we're not making the stopover. We just landing. Based on how far the flight is overall, I'm kind of guessing that we're roughly halfway to our destination. So, all right, so 160 knots is our landing speed. It's at full flaps, which is 30 degrees. No, wait a minute. 20, yeah, 30. It's saying 159 knots. We're going to just round it up to 160. So we're right within that window of our 163 and 159. So if we just go 160, then we're good to go there. So that is our plan for our landing. So no, we don't do a stopover or anything. We just do a straight flight. Because it's I don't have the. It's something I have to practice building a flight plan in the actual flight computer and all that. But we just use the world map to do all that, so we're covered that way. I don't know. I'm on the Xbox, so some people do prefer the X-Plane to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't. I'm not on a PC, so I can't say which one is better. I know some people prefer one over the other. That's their prerogative, but I only play on the Xbox, so I only have Microsoft Flight Simulator available to me. So there we go. And that's quite okay. If you prefer it, you're more than welcome to your opinion. I think this is where the transponder code is. What is that? Let's have a look. Huh. What is that? Huh. I don't know what that is for, but it looks pretty interesting, whatever that is. Huh. Is that supposed to be for the weather radar? I wonder if that's what that's supposed to be for. This is WXRDR, I think. I live in America. That's as far as I'm willing to say, because that's very personal information, but you're welcome to hang out. Just be careful of what you post, because you never know what sort of people may oh, there's my squawk code right there. That's it. Okay. So I think the co-pilot usually dials that in when we're preparing our flight. Get ready for pushback. Yep, I just live in America. I can say I'm on the East Coast of America, so there you go. Sorry, I prefer to be very vague. I don't know you all that well, so. But I appreciate you popping into the stream and watching for a bit. I am going, now that while we're cruising along here nice and safely, I am going to step away for just a moment. Be right back. Alright there, you will soon have Flight Sim 2020 and X-Plane 12. In the meantime, you have X-Plane 11. Okay, well, good. Hopefully you enjoy that. Alright. Just moving right along here. Let's see where our next marker is. We should pretty much be flying along this path for some time still. Now, we have a unique approach. I'm trying to remember how it's okay, good. I just use a regular Xbox controller, so whatever works, it works. So we have so we're landing on runway 23 left, I believe. Yep. So we're gonna hold on a second, let me look at my airport layout. Let's have a look here, and we're doing the runway 23 left. And our star is okay. So we're going to have kind of a weird arc. We'll see it more as we get closer to the airport. We'll zoom out on our system here to kind of get a look at things. Let's just oops. Okay, so that's just a far out view of our remaining flight. Okay, remaining part of the flight. So we still got all this to go. Enga right there, that's our arrival point. So we still got all this way to go between here and Copus. Okay. So once we get closer, we'll zoom in and kind of look at how we're going to fly into runway 23 left. Hello, Vol. You don't have to call me sir. I work for a living. So, welcome. Yeah, quite. So, here's something I've noticed, which is good. It's all fine and dandy. We've had quite a few new viewers. We've had quite a few views on our flights within the last week. So if you like what we do, it should be our altitude. Yep. Do consider subscribing, please, and hit the notification bell. We do try to fly 7 days a week, so I like to see a lot of you return. I get sometimes it's you come in for a moment, you hang around, you're not impressed for whatever reasons. That's fine. That's your choice. So, and then you leave. You don't say anything. You just pop in, watch for a few minutes, and then you disappear forever and ever. So do come back, do subscribe, do hang out. I think we, just like most every other YouTuber, we have some very standard rules. We don't want nothing political, nothing religious related. We just like to have a nice flight. Everybody come in and just relax, enjoy the flying. I try to answer reasonable questions whenever possible. And as all things, captain's discretion at all times. So that's how I operate. So we have a headwind almost coming in 265, 23 knots. So we got a little bit of a wind that we're flying into, but that's okay. I'd prefer a tailwind, but that's not how it works. We're not going that sort of direction. It's automatic, but there. It's even okay. So we're at 238 knots, right? But we're flying at 0.83 Mach, so we are actually going very fast. It does not look like we are. If you ever fly in real life, you're flying the speed, what you know the speed to be, sounds like a very fast number. I mean, we're actually flying at 470 knots, true airspeed. So we're still going very fast. Okay. It just doesn't seem that way. So it's a bit of a trick of the mind that you hear that number and you think, oh, we should be there quicker. That's not how it works. So the system takes its information from here, right? It says that's the speed, I believe, 310. Now, once you're above a certain altitude, it converts that number to a Mach number. And you will never go the speed of sound in a jetliner. You'll go 0.82. So we're flying fast. It just doesn't seem like we're flying fast. So I assure you, we are going a safe speed. Now, talking about that, I saw a video yesterday on YouTube that an airline has been are being investigated for violations of safety regarding that the pilots are required to fly faster than what is normally allowed due to air regulations around the world. So, yeah. If we push the plane faster than it's supposed to be, then I'll get a bunch of warning lights, the plane will become very unstable, and then we'll crash. So the system is flying its correct speed, I can assure you. So there we go. I'm not going to try to fly a 747 by hand. I think that's a bit much for a person to try to do. So the systems have all that information programmed in, the flight plan, whatever the guidelines are for a particular region as far as air travel, how fast the aircraft are allowed to operate at. All that stuff is taken into account when creating the flight plan, or if it's the airline itself may have certain limitations put in place for the safety of the crew and the passengers. So there we go. That's how it works. We're covering the distance. The good thing is, when these markers are kind of spaced out, we just see that chunk of distance just gets smaller and smaller. We get closer and closer to our destination. So I can assure you we are well within our normal operating parameters. I forget which airline it is. Saw it the other day, but somebody was, they're trying to cut back on the number of people in the flight deck They only want the pilot and co-pilot instead of a... And this isn't a Dreamliner, mind you. There should be a third person at least back here. A flight engineer or... they're supposed to have 2 pilots and 2 co-pilots so that the... On a long flight, the pilots can, they can change crew during the flight so that one crew's resting while one's flying. But they've been violating that directive, that safety regulation, and so now they're under investigation for unsafe practices, essentially. So we're getting there, slowly but surely. I just got the notification somebody did sub. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's have a look at our numbers now. Let's do this. Let's do that first. I think we're at 124. 125. There we go. Thank you. Oh, I guess we'll be at 150 before we know it. I think sometime today I'm going to have to figure out how to do it. I'm going to have to make an introductory video for a lot of you new viewers to kind of explain the rules and what the expectations are for the channel and for you as viewers. Like I said, I think most everything, the rules are pretty much standard across all YouTube channels. I don't think anything I will ever say as a rule is any kind of a surprise. So, I hate this cold weather. Always dries my face out, so I get this like itchy spot, and it's just not. It's like I scratch it, but it doesn't really do anything for me. Curiosity of tomorrow's flight. Let me take a look at how long that flight might be. Let's see, we're going to be in the A320. Is that right? Let's see. Flight should last 3 hours. Ooh. Alright, tomorrow's flight. We're going to get started a little bit earlier than expected. So I do have an appointment tomorrow, but I need to make sure I have time to leave. So let's see. My appointment tomorrow is at 10, I believe. Look at my calendar. 10. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to get started at 5 a.m. East Coast time tomorrow. So, yeah, that's the plan. Okay, so look, I'm going to explain this again. We are flying at Mach 0.82. The dial there says we're flying at 240 knots. We are flying fast, I can assure you. We are flying within the limits of the plane. Okay? We're flying fine. I've done this before. This is not my first time. 0.82 Mach is fast. 469 knots true airspeed is fast. Okay? So, please, I can assure you we are just fine with the speed. Okay? I've done this before. This is not my first time. We are not going to increase the speed because if you do, it is going to unbalance the plane. It is not going to be safe. We are within safe tolerances. Matter of fact, I will tell you cruise speed. The Mach cruise speed of a 747-8 is 0.855. So we are within the appropriate Mach cruise speed for the cruise phase of our flight. Okay? So if there's a problem with that, that is on Microsoft and Asobo to sort out. But we are within safe tolerances for the aircraft. Okay? I can assure you. The systems are programmed a certain way. I am not flying this manually. I'm not trying to go 8,000 miles an hour or whatever. So if we can stop with the request to go faster, we're flying fast. It does not appear that we are. I don't know any other way to explain it. Okay? Can we stop with the request to increase the speed? Thank you. The aircraft is flying itself within the normal operating parameters. Now, if you fly your plane manually and you go like a bat out of hell, that is on you. We are flying the plane. The plane is operating correctly. Okay? Alright, there's another marker gone. Just past that one. Our next one is Besig. Alright, so we only have a few more to go. 1, 2, 3. And Naga is our start of our arrival phase. So we are almost there. So see, we're getting there. It just doesn't seem like we are, but I can assure you. And once we come out of the stratosphere, we're up where we are right now, the speeds will change back to what appears to be a faster speed. Okay? But we're going to have to slow the plane down, of course, landing at about 160 knots. Okay? I highly recommend, if you're not sure, you can go in and look. You can read all kinds of stuff about the 747 and how it operates. But this is all within the simulator. I trust that the simulator knows what it's doing, within reason, of course. But we have an auto throttle on right there, which handles all of that right there. So we will, it is taking care of itself. Okay? And also, I know what the plane is capable of does not necessarily mean that's what it operates at, because that can add wear and tear to your aircraft and the engine systems itself. So that's why the plane has a design program to maximize the fuel efficiency, the flying speeds and all that, so that it minimizes the wear and tear on the systems. I am 99.9999999% positive of that. That's how it works. Matter of fact, I'll just say I'm 100% positive. That's how the system is designed. Okay? Alright, our next marker is Coffrey. There goes Besog. So we only have 2 more markers and then Anaga. Then we should start to see our reductions in altitude, and we'll start dialing that in as needed so that we can start our descent into Mexico City. In fact, we can kind of, we're still pretty far out, so we're going to get a little bit closer, and then we'll look at how we're going to fly into runway 23 left for our, or is it 23 or 32? I might be misspeaking. I got my numbers mixed up maybe this morning. I think it's 23 left. Yep, 23 left. So we're almost there. So as soon as we pass Anaga, that's when things will get a little bit busy. We'll start our descents and start managing our speeds. Start slowing the plane down a little bit. All in preparation for our arrival into Mexico City. Do appreciate everybody coming in today. Hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow early. I'm going to guess we're going to start at 5 a.m. East Coast time. So if you're able to come around and hang out, you're more than welcome to. For just a second. All right. Alternative. Oh, thank you. All right, give me some water. So after a while, your throat starts to get dry when you have to talk so much. Alright, 10 likes. Thank you all for your thumbs up. Appreciate that. Something tells me we're going to have some high numbers of views on the stream again today. I guess that's a good thing. But I would encourage you, if you're coming back to watch, that you do subscribe. Do hit the notification bell so that when I do go live, you will be notified. So we have this marker. Okay, so the next ones I think are kind of close together, but I'm not 100% sure. I was kind of looking at the flight plan before we started the stream just to kind of get an idea of the what we were looking at. Let's just kind of zoom out a little bit and get an idea of kind of what's coming up. All right, oops.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy contact Merida Center on 128.3. Good day.
320. All right, so
128.3 Clipper Niner 17 Heavy. Merida Center, Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, flight level 420.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, Merida Center. Continue to coffer as planned.
so that's only less than 15 nautical miles ahead of us, that coffer. So that's at 320 nautical miles. If we go even one more, we'll see the remainder of the flight. There it is. But all of our markers there by the airport are all kind of sitting on top of one another, unfortunately. So we can't get a clear picture just yet of our remaining portion of the flight and our approach into runway 23 left. But we are getting near our arrival portion into Mexico City. We look at our flight planning here. We've got the next page, and then one more. Runway 23 left right there. So by Coslow, we should be at about 10,000 feet. And then the runway is at 7,295 feet. So I think by the time we get to, oops. Alright, let's have a look outside again. Just kind of get an idea of where we are. Lidded is next at 77 nautical miles till we get to that point, and then Coppice. So if we zoom out again and go to 160, we should see, yep. So Coppice, and then if we go 320, there it is. Oh, right. So the markers at Enga from there should all be very close together. And then everything will go quicker once we start descending. We'll start stepping down in altitudes with the goal of being at 9,000 feet by the time we get to Coslow. Or no, not Coslow, MX400, which is the marker right. Oops, where did it go? Oh, it's Delta 140 here. So we should be 9,000 feet. I think once we pass Coslow, then essentially we're going to get all of our reduction information. Anything further will be from air traffic control. So there we are. So as a rule, once we are lining up for our landing, I will not be looking at the chat until we land. So I do apologize in advance for that. It's not anything personal, but usually everybody likes to get a little chatty as I'm trying to land. So I kind of tune out and all that. So everybody's got their own ideas of what I should and shouldn't be doing. That's fine. But I'm confident that I know what I'm doing. Okay. Matter of fact, I think we need to even dial the auto brake down just one more. The speed brakes will pop up. Yeah, there we go. We can reverse thrust if we need to slow the plane down further. I think we're set to go for our landing. Alright, I am going to step away one more time and stretch my legs, walk around for just a second. I'll be right back.
Niner 17 Heavy, contact Mexico Center on 126.6. Good day.
126.6 Clipper Niner 17 Heavy. Mexico Center, Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, flight level 420.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, Mexico Center, continue to light this plan.
All right, I just saw that as I was turning back towards the TV. Mexico Center. We are well within airspace control for Mexico Center. That's a good sign. We should be over land here shortly. So yeah, if I'd recommend I think there's a short documentary out about the history of Pan Am, starting with the China Clippers that flew out of San Francisco. Matter of fact, the old passenger terminal there at Treasure Island in San Francisco is still standing. You can go inside and walk around inside there. Has the Art Deco style architecture, if you know what that means. If not, I highly suggest you look it up. I think, if I remember correctly, inside the building there, they have pictures of the passengers who would be departing on the China Clipper to go to Hong Kong and everything. So yeah, a lot of aviation history in the San Francisco Bay Area. Pan Am used to have a huge maintenance hangar there by San Francisco International Airport. I don't remember who uses it now. It might be either United or American Airlines. And TWA had a maintenance hangar across the bay in Oakland. But Pan Am was the more well-established airliner or airline in the Bay Area, thanks in large part to the China Clipper history and everything. Alright, so we have one more marker after this, and then we'll see Inga, and then we'll be ready to go. So yeah, I highly recommend. There's lots of, I did read a book about the history of Pan Am some years ago. Very interesting story. Juan Tripe, who was the president of Pan Am when it first started up. I think by the time that it went bankrupt, he was no longer chairman of the board. I think either because he had passed away or they kind of voted him out because they were hoping for a change in direction of the company. He was kind of set in his ways as a business person. So I think they voted him out, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. I just know he was no longer president of the airline. And then from there, it just was not managed very well. I think they never managed what money they made very well, and so they found themselves facing bankruptcy, unfortunately. But the Pan Am airline is very well known, I think, worldwide, even though they don't fly anymore. It's a very iconic livery, especially as they got into the jet age. Juan Tripe was the one who pushed Boeing to develop the 747, actually. They had a very good working relationship, if I remember correctly. This was supposed to be a plane that was supposed to be marketed for the military use. And when they decided not to go that route, they saw an Intercontinental jetliner, so they converted it to passenger use. There are some freight variations of the 747, but it's almost mainly passenger. There's an abomination of the 747 that is supposed to compete with the Airbus large freight aircraft. So yeah, it's quite unpleasant to look at, but yeah, there's quite a history of the Pan Am and the 747 and the development. If Juan Tripe hadn't pushed Boeing, who knows if a plane like this would have ever been developed, and certainly to the point of the iteration that we see here before us. Luckily, the plane has improved over time, competing with the A380 for long-distance transatlantic, trans-Pacific flights. Alright, let's have a look at our path here in front of us now. We get a little bit more of a glimpse of what we have left to go at 160 nautical miles. We'll zoom back in as we get closer to Inga and have a nice look at how we're going to come into our approach at 23 left, as I've been saying. So 2.5 hours on the stream should be about the same for our flight, roughly. We appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out today. We'll be back at it 5 a.m. East Coast time, 10 a.m. UK time in the A320 in that flight going from Denpasar to Kuala Lumpur. It's going to be about a 3-hour flight or so, so we're going to get started a little bit early so that I have time to get out the door for my appointment in the morning. So do tune in for that if you're able to. If not, we will see you. You can watch it on the replay. Enjoy it. Now what we could do if we want right now is we can go ahead and drop 2,000 feet and get to flight level 400, and then when we start our further reductions, then it should be a little bit easier to manage from there. Now if you look at on our menu here, if I open this up, our decreases in altitude go 1 to 8,000, then it skips 9 and goes right to 10. Okay. So we could, in theory, we could ask for flight level 400, and then it should be much easier to manage from there. But we'll go ahead and wait and see how our first marker there at Enga looks before we start requesting things. Of course, once we get below flight level 185, we'll turn our resume our barometer or altimeter readings. Once we get to a certain level, we should get an updated altimeter reading from Mexico Center. We will adjust that accordingly, so we're at the correct altitude. I'm guessing it's going to be somewhat similar to what we had in Miami. I think we took off at 3015. So we're going to start with that first as a baseline, and then we'll adjust from there. We have a bit of a cloud cover, so I'm guessing we're going to be very similar to that altimeter reading once we get below flight level 185. Matter of fact, thinking about Pan Am, if you go on eBay, a lot of the memorabilia from Pan Am is pretty expensive. You can get the glasses that were used for in-flight service, especially in the first class section of the flight or the plane. You can get the toiletry bags that you could, you know, if you were like a Pan Am member, like their, you know, like a VIP sort of thing, you would get actual travel luggage sort of stuff, like a toiletry bag or stuff like that. Handbags, you know, stuff for checked luggage that you can put some magazines in there, maybe, or a book, and maybe one of those masks that people would put over their eyes to sleep on the flight to block out the light. Yeah, a lot of that stuff is sought after from some collectors. I think you could even get the old pilot wings from Pan Am on eBay. Very well known. I don't know so much about Respected. One Tripe was a bit of a hard case, but All right, so that is at, I think that says 26. It's so hard because once you turn, yeah, okay, we're gonna go to 32. All right, let's start getting out of this cruise phase.
Center, Clipper Niner 17 Heavy. Request flight level tree 20.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy descend and maintain flight level tree 60. Expect flight level tree 20.
360.
Descend and maintain flight level tree 60. Expect flight level tree 20. Clipper Niner 17 Heavy.
There we go. That back on. So we're starting our initial descent into Mexico City.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, please expedite your descent flight level tree 60.
No, we're doing just fine. Alright, 13 likes. Well, thank you all for that. So we should go to 320 here in a moment, and then we'll ask for, once we get to 320, we'll go to 260.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy descend and maintain flight level tree 20.
Descend and maintain flight level tree 20. Clipper Niner 17 Heavy.
Well, would you look at that? The knots are increasing all on their own. Who would have thunk such a thing is possible? For we know we'll be at 312 knots.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, contact Mexico Center on 125.1. Good day.
I wouldn't have thought such a thing is possible.
Going to 125.1 Clipper Niner 17 Heavy. Mexico Center, Clipper 917 Heavy is at flight level tree 50, descending flight level tree 20.
Clipper 917 Heavy, Mexico Center, continue to Naga as planned.
Okay, let's request a further 6,000 feet. Wait a little bit longer and then we'll do that here in just a moment, and then we should be set up. Alright, there we go.
Mexico Center, Clipper 917 Heavy. Request flight level 260.
Clipper 917 Heavy, descend and maintain flight level tree 20. Expect flight level 260.
Descend and maintain flight level tree 20. Expect flight level 260. Clipper 917 Heavy.
Clipper 917 Heavy, descend
There we
and
go.
maintain flight level 260.
Descend and maintain flight level 260. Clipper 917 Heavy.
Okay, well, all that in the space of our little marker Inga, which we haven't even reached yet. We're now setting ourselves up for a nice approach into Mexico City. Runway 23. Left. Now we're coming in kind of from the coast, or not the coast necessarily, but we're going to come in, the runway runs, let's see, it's a westerly. So almost like the way we're going now, that's how we're going to line up for our, it's going to be 235 degrees, so. We'll see more as we get closer here. So we'll leave the airspeed alone. It will adjust accordingly, as it has already. Let's go up to be about 310, I think, is our rough estimate of our, until we start getting below certain altitudes, and we'll start slowing down ourselves. A little bit of a crosswind here. 18 knots. All right, so you'll see there's a part of our turn in here. Now if we go out just 180. So this is the way we're going to kind of go in. We're going to come across here, and then we're going to circle around and then line up for our 2-3 left approach. So we're going to follow that kind of that weird, kind of a long right turn, and then we're going to come back into the airport and line up for our approach. So we should be pretty much set from here for right now. Should have another reduction in altitude at the next marker here, which is going to be NUGIR is our next marker there to the right. So we're going to follow that track, and then we should get another reduction in altitude here in a moment. Let's have a look. So we should turn here to the right any moment now. There we go. So another 6,000 feet.
Mexico Center, Clipper Niner 17 Heavy. Request flight level 200.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy descent and maintain flight level 200.
Descend and maintain flight level 200, Clipper Niner 17 Heavy.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy descent and
Ooh.
maintain 14,000 feet.
Okay.
Descend and maintain 14,000 feet, Clipper Niner 17 Heavy.
I can live with that. And of course, I think once we get to 14,000, we're going to slow the plane down to 250 knots. Actually, we can go all the way down to 210. Then we'll start getting our flaps down to help stabilize the plane. Actually, we can do it in 10, 285, 65, 45, 35, 10, 185. And then 160 for our landing. And then all the flaps will be deployed. All right, so should we get a? We should get another updated, or we should get an updated barometer or altimeter reading here shortly. The first set of flaps down. Oops. All right, we're not getting, we can't reduce our altitude any further.
Clipper Niner 17 heavy contact approach.
All right, now we'll get our
119.1. Good day.
altimeter reading.
11 Niner
Approach.
1 Clipper Niner 17 heavy. Approach Clipper Niner 17 heavy 14,000 feet.
Clipper Niner 17 heavy approach altimeter tree 0
301.
decimal flight tree continues assessed and as planned. Clipper Niner 17 heavy descend and maintain 12,000 feet. Keep speed not above 200 knots.
Descend and maintain 12,000 feet. Keep speed not above 200 knots. Clipper Niner 17 heavy.
And another. Oh, that's outstanding. Ooh, we are going right over some Some terrain there.
2,500.
You said 3053, right? Yeah, 3053. All right, we got to drop it down the speed a little bit more. Let's go all the way to 180. Let's get our landing lights on. Right, so if you look now, you'll see that track we're going to fly to the right. We're going to go off there to come back around and line up for our landing. I probably lowered, in fact, we did lower the landing gear a little bit early. I was getting a little ahead of myself. A little early for the landing gear.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, you are 14 miles northeast. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 23 left approach via D140H transition. Clear
There we
to
go.
D140H. Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, descend and maintain 11,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 23 left approach via D140H transition. Cleared to D140H. Clipper Niner 17 Heavy.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, descend and maintain 10,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Clipper Niner 17 Heavy.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, you are 11 miles northeast of Mexico City. Contact Mexico Tower on 118.7 when inbound.
Tower on 118.7. Clipper Niner 17 Heavy. Mexico Tower, Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, 10 miles northeast inbound ILS runway 23 left approach.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, Mexico Tower. Altimeter tree 0.5, 4 wind 256 at 10. Cleared ILS runway 23 left approach.
Cleared
Alright,
ILS
so we're
runway
going to still
23
follow that
left
track.
approach, Clipper Niner
We're not going to
17 Heavy.
deviate, although it seems to think that we're close, or that we were on the lineup. So we're going to just follow this track around. Once we come back around for lineup, I'll drop it to 160, get our last bit of flaps down. But we are essentially ready for landing. Just over 3 hours on the stream, so it should be just about over 3 hours on the flight.
2,500.
Uh-oh. Come on, turn. Keep turning, keep turning. There we go. Oh boy, this is going to be close. I think this is kind of what we ran into last time. It gets us below... Shoot. Oh boy. Good thing I asked for, put a little bit of altitude. We would have nicked that. I'm just going to go ahead and put in for 9,000 feet now. All right. Well, I hope we're... Man. Well, I think we're okay with those hills. Joys of flying in live weather.
$2,500.
Why is it climbing? Well, maybe 10,000 is the rate. I kind of have a... No, we should be good. All right. Alright, we should turn in towards the airport here. Coming up. Turn, turn. Come on, turn. Plane, you're supposed to be turning. Plane, you're supposed to be turning. I guess it is turning. It doesn't seem like it is, but it is. Turn again. Come on, turn again. Turn. There we go. Alright. So now we gotta look. We should, once we turn in towards our airport, we should start to see the localizer. Diamonds. No, I do not see the diamonds. Why do we not see the markers and the diamonds? Maybe after this next marker. We should see him pop up. I'm going to go ahead and just hit the localizer mode now. And the approach mode. So it should lock in. Should. Still got quite a bit to go. Come on, lock in.
Clipper Niner, 17 heavy wind 256 at 10. Clear to land runway 23 left.
Clear to land runway 23 left Clipper Niner 17 heavy.
Oh, what in the world? No, 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 no. It's turning off course. Doggone it. Why did it do that? I think this approach. Oh, look at this. We are way too high. Alright, I'm going to have to, like, fly this in manually. Oh, that approach is broken. Okay, that's fine. We're going to make this happen. Oh, my goodness. We have to bleed off a lot of altitude. Oh, wow, we are off the runway there for sure. Wow, this is not quite the landing I was hoping for, but we're on the ground. Well, so, what did we learn? We learned that that localizer and the ILS approach are essentially busted. They are not working as intended. But we are on the ground. We're going to turn right here. Whew, man.
Ground Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, request taxi to the gate.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, taxi to gate 54 via taxiway Alpha 1 Bravo Tree Lima Papa Hotel.
Taxiing to gate 54 via taxiway Alpha 1 Bravo Tree Lima Papa Hotel.
Well,
Clipper Niner 17
on
Heavy.
behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, including First Officer Mick, I'd like to welcome you to Mexico City. The current time is 8:51 a.m. local. We know that you have many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator viewing, live stream pleasures. We're glad that you picked us. We will be back tomorrow in the air in the A320, flying into Malaysia. So do join us for that. I think I know what the problem is with this approach. So we will rectify that here as soon as we wrap this flight up. Do appreciate everybody coming in today. At least we didn't crash. We got it on the ground, although barely. Yeah, that ILS approach is inop. So, lesson learned. I already know what the issue could be. So, we'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you, Mick. Appreciate that. Not quite the landing I was hoping for, but we got it on the ground nonetheless. I was a bit worried that we weren't starting to reduce our altitude and get the proper glide path into the airport here. But I think I know what the problem is. So we will deal with that accordingly. I should have been more cognizant of our altitude, where we didn't have to kind of nose it in and try to slow down last minute like that. So any flight you could walk away from is a good flight. Or landing, I should say. Flight, landing, whatever. You know what I mean. Do appreciate the new subscribers. Appreciate the new viewers. Quick reminder, if you want to see more, we try to fly daily. As much as my schedule allows for it. So do join us. Now we could have gone missed approach, but we weren't going to do that. No, there's no point in doing that. We got it on the ground, so. But like I said, I'm confident I know what the issue is. So I'm gonna do a test flight maybe sometime later to discover if my suspicions are correct.
Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, hold position, caution, other traffic. Clipper Niner 17 Heavy, continue taxi.
Hold position Clipper Niner 17 Heavy.
That little rinky-dink thing could have waited for me. I'm the bigger plane. I've got passengers on board. All right. About 3.5 hours. That's not too bad for our first flight of the week. I feel like I'm going to clip that fence. I may not, but it feels like I'm going to. Nope. I'm going to miss it just barely. Now, I've been to Mexico City, but it was a long time ago. I'm sure the airport has since been updated from when I was last there. There we go. Look at that. We didn't even have to ask for the jetway. It automatically is ready to connect to us. There goes the door. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. We get the warning that the jetway is connected. Alright, let's shut it down. And there we are. 3 hours and 1 minute flying. So it does not include the taxi to take off and landing and all the startup stuff. So that does take time. So anyway, that's going to be it for today, folks. Thank you all for coming in. I will see you all tomorrow, bright and early, 5 a.m. East Coast time, A320. Then Pasar to Kuala Lumpur. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'm probably not. Anyway, take care. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. I will see you all tomorrow.